Hey everyone, just a quick one today. I found out something quite exciting I just want to share in terms of, again, setting up your local Ethereum environment. Something I really enjoy doing is exploring blockchain, using Blockchain Explorer in the browser. I find it very nice to be able to sort of browse around blocks and search for transactions and all that kind of thing. So if you see some of my Bitcoin videos, then you'll probably be quite familiar with the blockchain.info website, which is an explorer of the Bitcoin blockchain, and the fact that you can browse around in these blocks and dig into individual transactions and see exactly what the inputs and outputs are is something I really like doing for Bitcoin. And so I've found a way to, which is obviously not written by me, but I just want to show you how to install it. Is a way to get a local blockchain explorer running for your local private Ethereum network, which is quite cool. So if you're interested in doing that, then I'll show you how to do it step by step. Okay, so let's get going. The steps I'm going to put down below, so don't worry about that. But the first thing I'm going to do is go to this address up here, which is this GitHub address. Right, I'm going to go there, and I am going to just so I'm just going to show you. So the instructions on what to do are basically here, but there are one or two things that, it's not a slam dunk in terms of these instructions. So I want to make sure that every single step is clear, right? So install Git if you haven't already. So let's do that first. So we go to Git, and so I'm going to double click the Git installer. Right, so then I'm just going to click my way through here. It's going to quickly install. It's installed now. If I type git now, so it gets installed, right? So that's the first step. So we can close that tab. Excuse me. Let's close down Blockchain Explorer. So Git is now installed. So now we're going to run this command. So we're going to clone the code that's in the local, in the remote Git repository. Don't worry about how Git works. It's pretty irrelevant to this video, right? So just going to copy that command, and so that's basically checking out the code onto my local machine. Then I need to download Node.js and npm, okay, which I don't have. So let's go here, and so I'm going to go to the Node.js download page. And I'm going to go Macintosh Explorer. And I'm going to do the like this. That's done. So now I have Node.js installed, so let's go back to the instructions. So I've done that. So what I need to do is I need to start npm, right? But to do this, I first of all need to navigate to where my Explorer was downloaded into. So here we are. So we're under my home directory. So if I just do cd explorer. So this is the code that we've just downloaded, and this package.json file is what the npm process is going to refer to when it starts up. So it's important that I run the npm start from within this folder, which is not actually clear from these instructions. So let's do npm start. So this takes a couple of minutes or less. All right, so now the npm server is now started, and you can see it's available at localhost port 8000. So now we're going to get to the fun part, right? So this is the fun part where we're actually going to see see the first incarnation of this blockchain browser running. And so what we're going to do, so it tells us in the instructions that that we have to run this command here, right? So I'm just going to do this and then show you exactly what happens, right? So I've just started a new terminal window down here. So we've got our npm server running here. I'm going to start geth, right, without only providing these arguments, right? Nothing else. Now we know what happens when you start geth without any data directory and any custom Genesis block or anything whatsoever. It's going to start downloading and trying to sync with the main public Ethereum blockchain. So this is what's happening in the background now, which I'm going to abort before too long. But just to show you it working, and if we go to the browser now, as it says, you can go to your browser and just visit this URL, right? So if we just take this URL like this, and we go up to here, so what we can see, and this is really cool. This is a local local application. This is using the code that I've just downloaded, and we can see this is the live Ethereum blockchain, right? Based on what's what my computer has already downloaded in terms of the live, sorry, I should say the public Ethereum blockchain. So these are the actual real Ethereum blocks with the real Ether currency being transacted. So, and similar to Blockchain Explorer, you've got the transactions listed here, so you can click on each transaction and see the gas price, the start gas, and all that kind of stuff. So I quite like it. I think it's quite cool. You can also search by transaction ID. So you can basically just copy that in there, and you can search by transaction hash or address or block height. So it's quite a cool little tool. But the last thing I want to show you is how to actually hook this up to your own private network. That's for the time being. That's what I'm much more interested in, because I'm mostly playing around with the private network. So all we have to do is I'm just going to go back to the terminal, right? And I'm going to quit this process here, right? I'm going to quit geth, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start two nodes of my private network, right? So I'm going to keep this window. I'm going to open a new one as well. Then let's just bring that down here. So I've got two windows now. In the first window, I'm going to run geth using the following parameters, and I'll paste these commands down below. And so the thing is, so this is how we specify. You see in previous videos that we're not using the public Ethereum blockchain. We're using a private blockchain with this network ID. All the other parameters we've used so far in order to create a private network of different nodes running. So I'm not going to repeat myself there. But the most important thing is that this parameter here is consistent with what we were told to set up previously. Everything else is exactly how we've been doing it in previous videos. So I'm going to start this node like this. Okay, so now we have one geth node started. I'm going to also start another geth node. The reason I'm going to do that is because I want to show you how you can basically use the browser Solidity compiler to deploy contracts to your local private network, but you can also use the browser to connect to the blockchain to browse it. So in order to do that, you actually need, as far as I can see, it's easy to do if you have two nodes running, right? One of them effectively is the entry point for your browser Solidity to deploy the contracts, and the other one is the entry point for your Blockchain Explorer, right? So I'm going to copy this command, and I'm going to run it in the second window. And this command is essentially it's another node, so usual case, right? So different data directory, U2B, different port, obviously. The top port was 30304. This is 3005. Same network ID. Different RPC port, right? So this one is using a default RPC port, which is 8545. We haven't specified it there. This one, therefore, we need to use a different RPC port, and I've used 8546, right? And we'll see we have to tell browser Solidity about this port number. And then we're going to use this particular value for this parameter on this node, right? So if you copy these commands exactly as they are, then this should work for you. So the last thing we have to do is to connect these two nodes as peers. Again, this is in my previous videos. So you can see at the moment that this node has no peers, but if we do admin.nodeinfo, right, then we just copy the enode number without comma, and then we go to the top node here and do admin.addPeer, and then we're going to paste that all in. And now if we do admin.peers, so we can see this node now has a peer node, and that should be reciprocated, so we do admin.peers here. Then this also, that reciprocal information, that reciprocal relationship is there. So if I do eth.block number, just to make sure these guys are already synced up with each other, so eth.block number here and eth.block number here. So yes, so you can see the block height is the same on both nodes. So that's a good start. So first thing we'll do is let's actually show you how to. So now we're going to connect our browser to the private blockchain to explore the blocks, right? So if we go back to our blockchain explorer, right, and if we just refresh, we'll go back to the same URL. So now you can see this is my own private blockchain now, right? So it's exactly the same URL because the port number 8000 is the port that if I go back to the terminal, when I started this node here, I specified this URL here, right, as the for this parameter, right? So that's so this enables me to actually to connect to my local private blockchain. I can browse any of these blocks. All these blocks have no transactions in because it's a test network and there's mining going on in the background, but there's no transactions going in there. But what I want to show you is how to connect the browser Solidity back to this window. So if I go back to our, so you've seen in previous videos as well the browser Solidity window. So I'm not going to go over that again. But this is the standard greeter contract. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reconnect to my local private blockchain, and in the port I'm going to specify 8546. Right, and the reason I'm doing that is because the port that I specified down here for the RPC port was 8546. Okay, so that's very important, right? Now, so if I go to if I go back up here, and then if I just try and create a new instance of this smart contract. So we have an instance of our smart contract now deployed to our local blockchain. So I'm just going to, you've probably seen this before, but I'm going to create a variable to represent the application binary interface. This is how the standard way that we call these contracts from our Geth console. So I'm going to copy the ABI from the browser. I'm going to copy the address of the contract again. Let's copy any one of these deployed contracts. We can let's call this one. So copy that, and like this. Then we define a greeter variable, and so that's going to be eth.contract, and then we supply the ABI variable and at the address, and then we can call greeter dot, just to check we've got the right contract, so greeter dot get greeting is buck at the moment, just a piece of nonsense. But what I want to show you is I'm going to create a transaction now, and just to show you the end-to-end process that we can deploy a contract from the browser, which is a very from browser Solidity, which is a very easy, convenient way to do it. And then we can browse the blockchain using the browser as well. So it's two very in terms of user interface, it's quite a neat way to browse and to interact with your local network. So if I just do set greeting, right, greeter, so we can see that went through, and that's part of block 429. Okay, so if we go to our homepage here, we can see so block 429. Obviously, the mining is happening quite quickly. So now the new blocks are stacking up, but we haven't been producing any transactions on this local network in the last few minutes. But if we go to block 429, then we can see that all the information that we have down here is in here. So we have one transaction in this block, okay, and it is this transaction here, which we recognize, and so all the details about that transaction is there. So it's quite, and we can click on that for more details, so we can see what the gas price was, what the gas used was, and all that kind of stuff. So it's quite cool. I think I'll definitely be probably playing around with this, and maybe it's sometimes a nicer way to explore the blockchain, to be able to sort of click around and see things in a more presentable fashion. So just in case you find it useful. Anyway, thanks for watching.